Come follow the brick wall. It's your girl Eva K, and I'm ready to eat. Hey, who ready to eat with me? Who ready to come bread with me? Let's break bread. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. We about to eat this food and get fed. Come break bread with me. Let's break bread. Now bow your head, hey, cause we gotta say the grace, cause we about to eat. We about to eat. I can't wait to eat. Let's eat, big girls. Are you ready to eat? Come eat with me and let's talk. I want to get all in your business. What you gotta say? What you gotta say? I'm ready to laugh and I'm ready to play. Come on and break bread with your girl Eva K. Let's break bread. Hey kiddos, how y'all doing? Today, Miss Eva, moi, will be reading a few books. I have Raleigh Can Be Anything. Mr. Corey Hodge over at Maynard Elementary School gave this book to my sweet daughter Anaya. So we're going to read that. We also have Brown Skin by a local artist. Miss Via Jackson is right here from Knoxville, Tennessee. We have that one. And then we have When God Made You. This is a really, really cute book. And then my favorite book of all times, Love You Forever. Now this book right here is a very sweet book. I would encourage all of the parents to get their kiddos this book. I love this book. My mommy used to read this book to me when I was a little girl. So you know what? I'm going to start with this book because it's my favorite. Love You Forever. And I will put all the books that we read in the description box in case any of the parents want to purchase any of these books. Okay. Excuse my nails. I need to get them done. But of course, we're in the quarantine, so all of the nail shops are closed. A mother held her new baby and very slowly rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she held him, she sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. So you see the mommy holding her little baby. The baby grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 2 years old. And he ran all around the house. He pulled all the books off the shelves. He pulled all the food out of the refrigerator. And he took his mother's watch and flushed it down the toilet. Sometimes his mother would say, this kid is driving me crazy. Look how he's being. Bad boy. But at night, when the 2-year-old was quiet, she'd open the door to his room, crawl across the floor, and look up over the side of his bed, and if he was really asleep, she'll pick him up and rock him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. While she rocked him, she sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Look at her peeking at her boy. That's a mother's love right there, guys. The little boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was 9 years old. And he never wanted to come in for dinner. He never wanted to take a bath. And when grandma visited, he always said bad words. Sometimes his mother wanted to sell him to the zoo. Look at that boy. Just being a bad boy. But at nighttime, when he was asleep, the mother quietly opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor and looked up over the side of the bed. And if he was really asleep, she picked him up, that 9-year-old boy, and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Ooh, girl with a big boy. The boy grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was a teenager. He had strange friends, and he wore strange clothes, and he listened to strange music. Sometimes his mother felt like she was in the zoo. Look at that boy and his friends. Get off her couch. But at nighttime, when that teenager was asleep, the mother opened the door to his room, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If he was really asleep, she would pick up that great big boy and rock him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. They both getting older, but she still sang to her boy. That's a mother's love. That teenager grew. He grew and he grew and he grew. He grew until he was all grown up. He left home and got a house across town. Got a nice house. But sometimes on dark nights, the mother got into her car and drove across town. She missed her boy. If all the lights in her son's house were out, she opened his bedroom window, crawled across the floor, and looked up over the side of the bed. If that great big man was really asleep, she picked him up and rocked him back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while she rocked him, she sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my baby you'll be. Oh. Well, that mother, she got older. She got older and older and older. One day, she called up her son and said, you better come see me because I'm very old and sick. So her son came to see her. When he came in the door, she tried to sing the song. She sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. But she couldn't finish because she was too old and sick. Oh no. Her boy on the phone with her. The son went to his mother. He picked her up and he rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And he sang the song, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, my mama you'll be. Oh, look at that, guys. When the son came home that night, he stood up for a long time at the top of the stairs. Then he went into the room where his very new baby daughter was asleep. He picked her up in his arms and very slowly he rocked her back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And while he rocked her, he sang, I love you forever. I like you for always. As long as I'm living, My baby, you'll be. Oh, that was the end of that book. Did y'all like that book? I Love You Forever. Okay. Now let's read one by Miss Via Jackson. Brown Skin, Brown Skin. This is a cute book. I really like this book. She said, For My Father. The many shades of brown and the power it holds. In every single tone, there's a story to be told. Eyes of many shapes, carrying messages from the soul. Your skin is a compass, showing others where to go. Look at that. My sisters, my brothers, shades of bronze and gold, we stick together as our shades unfold. As brown as sugar cookies or brownies you bake, from peanut butter truffles to dark chocolate cake. Look at that ooey gooey. Sun-kissed by the sun, as dark as brown can be, as beautiful as the sky when it reflects from the sea. Brown is beautiful. Time and time again, your skin reveals its magic. Just like the ocean, you were gracefully crafted. Skin that tells stories to the stars and tells the moon good night. It sends peaceful energy all day and all night. Brown Skin Mountain, 0.5 miles ahead. Your brown skin creates melodies that are sung from the tops of mountains, making the birds fly and sending water to the fountains. Your dreads and braids, the pudge of your nose, the plump in your lips, and your curly afros. Look how cute they are. Yes, they are. Brown skin, celebrate your brown skin every day. Textures of hair that feels different, but all equally magnificent. Just like different shades of brown, but all equally significant. The most beautiful flower could never compare to you. So celebrate your skin and your hair too. Brown skin, brown skin. You dance to the clump and thump of a drum, but the beat of your heart is where your rhythm comes from. Have faith and be brave. Love who you are. Stay true to yourself and you will go far. From confidence to the truth and the ability to win, everything you need is found within. Word number 1. The end. So this is from Miss Via Jackson from Knoxville, Tennessee. Thank you for such a beautiful book. We have to love our beautiful brown skin. Riley can be anything. Get cute little Riley. Words by Davina Hamilton, illustrated by Elena Reynosos. Okay. For Ella and Riley. Riley loved his big cousin Joe. There were so many things Joe wanted to know, like how does honey come from bees? And why must I always say thank you and please? Big cousin Joe was full of questions, and big cousin Joe had lots of suggestions. This time he asked Riley, "Can you tell me when you grow up, what are you going to be?" "I'm not sure yet," Riley sighed. "Cousin Joe, can you help me decide?" Joe replied, "Of course I can. Let's give this some thought now, little man." A moment later, Cousin Joe said, "You could be a chef like Uncle Ted. Your restaurant could serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. If you did that, you'll be on to a winner." "A chef?" said Riley. "That sounds good. But do you really think I could?" Joe said, could your food could be fit for a king. Riley, you can be anything." Riley was pleased, but still unsure. "Maybe we should think some more. What else could I be?" Riley asked Joe. Said Joe. "Oh, I know. You could play the saxophone like Uncle Baz. He's in a band that plays music called jazz. It's really cool music that's for everyone. It's funky and groovy and lots of fun." "I like the saxophone," Riley cried. "Are you sure I could play it? I never tried." "Of course," said Joe. "You got that swing. Riley, you can be anything." Riley liked the saxophone idea, but still, there was more he wanted to hear. He asked Cousin Joe, "What else could I be?" Joe smiled and said, let's see." "I've got it," said Joe. "This is a good plan. You could be a doctor like Uncle Dan. When people are ill, you make them feel better. Or you can write them a doctor's letter." "Make people better?" Riley asked. "Yes," said Joe. "It's a special task. Think of all the joy you could bring. Riley, you could be anything." Riley was happy, but still he pondered. "What else could I be?" He sat and wondered. "Cousin Joe, I'm still not sure." "No problem," said Joe. "We can think some more. But let me have a sip of my drink. Water always helped me think." "Oh, I know," Joe said as he drank. "You could be a pilot like great granddad Frank. He flew a plane in the Royal Air Force. That was years ago, of course. He was brave as he flew in the sky, soaring his plane through the clouds way up high." Riley thought for a little while, and then he gave a massive smile. "A pilot?" he said. "Now that sounds great. I'm so excited, I can't wait. But up in the clouds is very high. What if I'm scared to go up in the sky?" Joe smiled and said, "Stop worrying. Riley, you can be anything." The next day, Riley was at school. He was feeling pretty cool. The things that Cousin Joe had said were still whizzing around in Riley's head. Then the teacher, Mr. Brew, said, "Class, here's what we're going to do. I'd like you to think and then tell me, when you grow up, what would you like to be?" A teacher, said Lucy. A fireman, said Kyle. I'm going to be a writer, Jane said with a smile. A vet, said Eddie. A dentist, said Bee. Everyone know what they want to be. How about you, Riley? Mr. Bruce said. I'm not sure yet, said Riley, scratching his head. But just as the school bell started to ring, Riley said, I can be anything. Yes, you can, Riley. Yes, you can. Riley can be anything. The end. Look how cute. When God Made You. Matthew Paul Turner, illustrated by David Contrell. This is one of my favorite books. You. When God made you, God made you all shiny and new. An incredible you, all your own, a you unlike anyone else ever known. An exclusive design, one God redefined. You're a perfectly crafted one of a kind. Because when God made you, somehow God knew that the world needed you exactly like you. You, you. God thinks about you. God was thinking of you long before your debut. From the very beginning and history and time, you, little one, never never left God's mind. God imagined your eyes, your head shape and size, and knew what you looked like when you felt surprised. God pictured your nose and all 10 of your toes, the sound of your voice. God had it composed. The lines on your hand, your hair, every strand, God knew every detail like it was planned. Out of billions of faces, from cultures, all races, people God made from all different places. God knew your name. Your picture is framed. God's family without you would not be the same. Because when God made you, this much is true. The world got to meet who God already knew. You, you. When God sees you, God delights in what is and sees only what's true. That you, yes, you, in all of your glory, bring color and rhythm and rhyme to God's story. So be you, fully you, a show-stopping revenue. Live your life in full color, every tint, every hue. Discover, explore, have faith, but love more, and learn and relearn all that God made for you. Use your talents and passions, those gifts that God fashioned. Think up ideas and then put them in action. Because God loves you, creating your true self, displaying when light on the inside through art is portraying. When you make believe, the stories conceive. The heroics, the magic, those tricks up your sleeve. When you dance alone, spinning like a cyclone, being whoever, whatever in the world all your own. God smiles, and here's why. In the spark of your eye, a familiar reflection shines bright from the inside. Because when God made you, in the world oohed and ah, in heaven they called you an image of God. You, you, when God dreams about you, God dreams about all that in you will be true. Pretty. That you, God's you, will be hopeful and kind, a giver who lives with a heart, soul, and mind. A dreamer who dreams in big and small themes and who keeps dreaming in journeys upstream. A mover, a shaker, a lover of nature. A builder of bridges, you the peacemaker. Look how pretty and colorful. And you who views others as sisters and brothers and lives by 3 words, love one another. A confident you, strong and brave too. You being you is God's dream come true. Because when God made you, all of heaven was beaming. Over you, God was smiling and already dreaming. Look how pretty. So thank you guys for coming to my first book reading. Please, 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 please leave all feedback, comments. I like to know if you and your kiddos liked it. If you have any book suggestions, please let me know. Y'all have a very blessed day. Because when God made you, he already knew.